On the 10th anniversary of the brutal murder of 18-year-old Anthony Walker, BayTV asked his family, has the pain eased just a little over time?
I don't believe it gets any better. You just learn to live and cope.
It looks into the glimmer of hope that's come out of Anthony's tragic murder.
Younger people, the younger generation have come to understand what racism is all about, and they've come forward to talk about their experiences.
Some of the hopes for the future.
I'd like to know that what they've done is behind them, and that's not carry on down the line into decades, because this hate has got to stop.
And some of the fears.
I think in terms of them being released, I can't process it until it happens, I suppose. All I can safely say is I know if they come here, I'm out. Some people may say, well, you may see, that means that you're threatened by it. Too right. Too right. Wouldn't you be?
18-year-old Anthony Walker lived in Huyton. He's been described as a popular young man with a love for sports, music and the arts. He was on his summer break just after finishing his AS levels when he was attacked and killed right near his home here in McGoldrick Park on the 29th of July 2005. At around 11 p.m, Anthony was walking with his cousin Marcus Binns and his girlfriend Louise Thompson to a bus stop close to the Huyton Park pub. It was here that 17-year-old Michael Barton and his cousin, 20-year-old Paul Taylor, launched a verbal attack at Anthony and his friends. Without retaliation, the three friends decided to take a shortcut to another bus stop through McGoldrick Park in order to avoid any conflict. But Barlow and Taylor went ahead to confront the group at the park. Anthony's girlfriend and cousin managed to escape, but Anthony couldn't get away. It was at that moment that Taylor administered a devastating blow to Anthony's head with an ice axe. Anthony's cousin came back to help him, but there was little he could do. He was taken to Huyton Hospital and then transferred to Walton Neurological Centre, where he was pronounced dead on the 30th of July at 5:20 in the morning.
I cannot express feelings because there are no words to describe the pain you feel when you lose someone close to you, someone that you love, and in such an evil way. I feel the thing that haunts me most is that I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to hold my son because it's not allowed. You cannot hold your child, comfort them, because you'll contaminate evidence, and that's what hurts the most.
Taylor received a minimum term of 23 years and 8 months, with Barton receiving a minimum of 17 years and 8 months. The murder caused outrage around the country, with hundreds of people coming to lay flowers at the murder scene. But out of something so terrible came something good. In 2006, the Anthony Walker Foundation was established by his family. Their aim was to promote racial equality through education, workshops and the arts.
No session's the same, and what you get out of the young people and seeing sort of them putting them sort of pieces of information together and coming forward and really feeling something and empathising with people and saying that's not right. I think it makes it really worthwhile for me, and just listening to some of the young people in the group today, it shows me sort of the benefit and the impact of this sort of work, and how, you know, it is priceless really to do this sort of work where young people have got a safe space to have these conversations, because would they have these conversations on a normal everyday basis in the street or at home or anything like that? In some cases maybe, yeah, but I think a lot of people don't, and if you don't get to talk about the issues sometimes, I think it could be brushed under the carpet or it can be accepted.
As a consequence of that work, younger people, the younger generation have come to understand what racism is all about, and they've come forward to talk about their experiences. And because of that, the work of the foundation has evolved. We're supporting young people, their families as well. So in recent times we've developed a support service for people who are experiencing or have been affected by racism.
Through the foundation, the AWF Foundation, through the festival, any event that we have, it's nice to be able to have the moments to remember that, and it's collective, because I remember my brother every day. So it's nice when other people can also take the time out to remember, because sometimes what you find, the AWF Foundation is just sometimes a name. And I'm like, no, I'm like, that's my brother. That's my surname, and that's my brother's first name. He was a living, breathing, functioning adult at one point. He was a person. So when you're doing things under the foundation banner and doing events, you're doing it for him. You're not doing it for self. I have to remind myself that most of the time as well, because it's hard. I'm an adult just like anybody else. So it's tough, but it's nice. And I think it's nice of Malcolm at St Gabriel's Church to think of us in that, and to recognise that, you know, he should be remembered. You know, I think it is nice.
And we just try to do well just to ease the pain of so much suffering, so much suffering. So if we can reach out in hand of support to let them know we're there. And the police, Merseyside Police, thank God for the Commissioner who's helping us, supporting us to, you know, with a little grant to help us to carry the message of peace, love, harmony, and my message of forgiveness.
The aims of the foundation are now even more prominent 10 years on, as Merseyside Police revealed a rise in hate crime across the city. Statistics show that in the past year, officers dealt with 1,700 cases.
There's a wide range, and people, if they're getting name calling and stuff like that, they may not report it. This is why the third party reporting, you can see it's critical, because under-reporting is due. So it is a significant area of criminality, and it concerns us because we need to be reaching out and actually try to get a handle on how big it actually is.
The community takes all of us. It's not a black and white issue anymore, but it's an issue for every citizen, every decent citizen, to you know, stand up and be counted and try to eradicate this evil.
But even after all the pain and anguish, Anthony's mother, G, has found it in her heart to forgive the two men who murdered her son.
People think, why? I get often asked why. It's just a natural thing, because when this pain we carry is bigger than all of us, it can make you or break you. And thank God we're still upright. And it's not condoning what they've done. It's enabling us, giving us the capacity and the capability and the ability to reach out, to love and be loved, and not to drive people away. And we can't take on this added baggage, I call it luggage. The pain we carry is more than we can handle. And I cannot, for me, I cannot take on any more. I
forgive, but I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. I'm in full capacity of my brain. I know what, you know, I want to do with my life and so on and so forth, but I'm not an idiot. You know, people sometimes say you forgive, that you've got no strength, that you're allowing something of some kind. That is completely wrong. You forgive for self, for strength. I think in terms of them being released, I can't process it until it happens, I suppose. All I can safely say is I know if they come here, I'm out, I'm gone. I've got to protect, for me, I've got to protect my family. I've got to protect my mum. I've got to protect my brothers and sisters, and most importantly, I've got 2 kids, so I've got to protect them. And my partner, who's a black man as well, I've got to protect him. And it's, some people may say, well, you may see, that means that you're threatened by it. Too right. Too right. Wouldn't you be?
He should not have been killed. He should be here, fulfilling his destiny. And that's the sad part about it. That's something he never will, and sadly we'll never be able to address or fulfill a fraction of the things that he would have addressed and fulfilled and put to right, because that was his intention, to put to right a lot of the wrongs. I know he couldn't do it by himself, but at least he would have made a dent, an address, through his lawyer, through his music, through his... He wanted to be a judge. He wanted to be an actor. He wanted to be a dancer. He wanted to be a sports star. All those things will never be realized, and we can't do it. I'll never get to see what his children would be like. I never get to see him married or graduate. All I know is I miss him. I miss him. It should never have happened.
10 years on, in the same location as the brutal murder of Anthony Walker, a celebration will take place to commemorate the teenager's life. Now, the people of Huyton have requested that the celebration take place here. Them and many people across Merseyside want to show their support to the family in their fight for racial harmony across Merseyside and to make sure that the name of Anthony Walker lives on.